first order of business, let's start with last night's game and the fact that Jalen Carter got ejected and did not play a single snap of the Thursday opener. The league looking into this? Is it possible a suspension is coming? What are you hearing here on this Friday?
At this point, Rich, what I would tell you is the NFL is reviewing the entire spitting situation. That's standard. Anytime a player gets ejected from a game, they take a look at that to see whether additional type of discipline is warranted, whether that's a fine or a suspension. Basically, it's important to remember, Jalen Carter served a one-game suspension last night. He might be the first player in NFL history to get onto the field and get ejected prior than playing a single snap on the field. So that's usually taken into account. It's rare, not unprecedented for players to get suspended after being ejected from the game. The fact that he missed the entire game probably would point you toward this is not going to be a suspension, which, by the way, week 2 is against, it's a Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs team that you are going to see tonight. Additionally, beyond that, there's been spitting incidents in the past. Remember Sean Taylor in a playoff game years ago. There was Bill Romanowski famously involved in something. Usually those have been handled by fines and not suspensions. Jalen Carter does not have a long disciplinary history in the NFL. These are all reasons to think that he's not going to get suspended. But again, the NFL's got an extra time because the Eagles don't play again for another, 9 days here. And so they can fully evaluate this. I imagine that we've got some type of word here in the next day or so on what his status is. And then with regard to the Roger McDowell in all this, Rich, the second spitter, Dak Prescott, there's no equivalency here. There's no rule against somebody spitting in the general direction of another player who is several yards away from them. What you can't do is walk directly up and spit on a guy's chest point blank. I would be surprised if there's any discipline for Dak Prescott. But again, they'll review the entirety of the situation and come to those determinations probably in the next 24 hours or so.
Yeah, general direction was a very Monty Python way of putting that, Tom. I appreciate that. As for this game,
to say that, Siciliano texted me that this morning as well because I used the same phrasing on Good Morning Football. I actually went back and looked at that scene, Rich, and later on, the line that comes like 3 lines later is, I will come down there and taunt you a second time, which taunting twice would also get you ejected from an NFL game.
No, I thought that was Nolan Smith who got flagged for being for taunting while we're continuing the theme. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.